Hey everybody, welcome back to another Triple Hound video, and in this video we are making a couple more custom Fortnite skins. Kind of a while ago now, back when the Suicide Squad was in theaters, we had a request to make more Suicide Squad members, in particular Peacemaker and Javelin, among others. And now that Peacemaker is on HBO with his very own television show, we figured we'd go back and revisit that request and make Peacemaker, but also Javelin. I'm not really sure why we didn't get to this one previously. I think probably we just got wrapped up on other things and maybe got discouraged by the fact that there's really no way to make his kind of unique silver helmet. But we were able to certainly do an unhelmeted version of him. And if you wanted to try to approach that helmet look, you could probably give him a half mask. But more about that in a second, and how we made Peacemaker, as well as some of the options you might have to kind of customize him a little bit on your own. And with that, well, let's get into how we made Peacemaker and then Javelin. Starting with the Hunter skin, which is sort of the closest we can get to like a John Cena looking guy. We used a suit pattern Peerless, which gives him kind of red on the upper body and white from above the waist and down. Peacemaker really has basically white pants and a red shirt with some blue trim and some brown items on there, but it's primarily half red, half white. And as we've done in the past with some of these characters, we used the Peerless suit pattern to try to get as close to that as possible. It's not perfect, of course. The white goes way too high on his body, but there's really nothing else here that's sort of half red, half white. Hairstyle C as far as a head style, and like I said, if you wanted to try to replicate the helmet look, you could throw the half mask on him. Certainly from the front, it's just a white color, which I guess if you squint enough, you can kind of think of as a really, really bright silver, or maybe you can change the color to platinum instead and just kind of have that platinum color on both the pants and the head. But I liked hairstyle C. It's just basically him without his helmet on, which I prefer. Eye mask off, belt on. Primary material is white, and we used spandex. Here again, I think I mentioned using platinum, which is not that far off. And if you wanted to give him the half mask to try to replicate the helmet thing, this might be some way to do it, but I stuck with white. Secondary material, I used cloth, and the secondary color is red. Here's where we have a decision to make. The belt, we decided to go with blue because there wasn't really any other good way to get blue into his outfit, even though there's a fair amount of blue in the Peacemaker's outfit, i.e. Peacemaker wears blue gloves, etc. No eye effects or eye color, no skin tint or hair tint necessary. And then for the sticker for his chest, we went with Super Ducky, a little sort of yellow rubber ducky insignia. And the real Peacemaker on television, in the movies and such, has a golden sort of dove on his chest to show how committed he is to peace through whatever means necessary. But this is like the closest we could get to like a yellow bird of some kind to put on his chest. And it works pretty well, I think. You know, it is a bird, it is yellow, it kind of checks those two boxes. So even though we can't put the yellow dove on his chest, this isn't too bad. Onto his preset, we used the Assassin Pack. Certainly his character is mostly a gun-wielding character, so we just gave him a bag full of guns here. Copycat's swords for a pickaxe. Not perfect, I understand, but I did some Google image searching on Peacemaker, and I did find a version of him sort of wielding a sword, so I decided to use this. For a glider, I just gave him the V-Trigger Vector, the one that goes with the Guile skin from Street Fighter. It's just kind of a regular old fighter jet, which I think kind of makes sense for this kind of all-American patriotic type character. Zip ribbons here is kind of a go-to when I don't have anything better in mind. Although you could decide instead to use ballistics because he has, you know, certainly a gun-wielding dude. Give him a bunch of guns and a bunch of bullets. Blasted was the wrap, simply because it matched the color scheme I was looking for. And then I gave him a bunch of emotes that are largely just fighting in nature, like Shadow Boxer here, Shadow Spar, the new punching practice one that kind of comes from the Vi skin in the game. I'll be seeing you. Bulletproof, he famously, spoiler alert, kind of dies in the Suicide Squad, but is sort of resurrected for the television show. And Martial Arts Master, here again, another one of these fighting ones. So that is how we tried to make our Peacemaker. And now we'll talk about how we made Javelin. So Javelin's character actually wasn't too bad to make, as the commenter suggested. There was really a fairly good pattern to work with on him. So let's get into Javelin. Javelin, another DC character that was in the Suicide Squad movie alongside Peacemaker. We used suit pattern Intrepid for him, hairstyle B, eye mask on, and belt on. Primary material is cloth, and the primary color is sky blue. Secondary material is plastic, and the secondary color is yellow. Again, this is pretty straightforward. If you look at a picture of him, certainly from the movie, this is a pretty easy kind of decision to make. Sky blue again for the accessories. It's good in that his mask and his belt are typically the same color. No IFX or eye color. No skin tint, but we do want to give him a hair tint to try to make him as blonde as possible. We had a decision to make on whether to use the blast off customizable skin, in which his hair could be kind of closer to the style that we wanted, or to use the hunter skin again and give him blonde hair, which is the right color. We decided to use the blast off skin to try to give it closer to the style that we wanted, which was kind of longer, hangs down over the sides a little bit there. But to do that, we needed to give him a hair tint, in this case mustard, to try to make him look kind of blonde. Again, not perfect, but if you think it's better to have blonde all the way to the roots, you can use the hunter skin and just have to sort of deal with the fact that his hair is a little bit shorter. No sticker because, well, his uniform doesn't really have an emblem or anything in the middle of it. Sword of the Daywalker is the back bling. It's the closest thing I could find, at least in my locker, that looked like a javelin that he might have sort of attached to him. Similarly, Ray's quarterstaff was the closest pickaxe I could find to a javelin, again, at least in my locker. Io stealth sail, simply just because it's kind of simple and clean looking. I really didn't have anything better than that. Zip ribbons, again, my kind of default for when I don't have something specific in mind. I kept the same fighting emotes, so nothing really changes there, but I used Morphic Blue as my wrap because it kind of captures the right color scheme. And that is how I made Javelin from the Suicide Squad and DC Comics. As always, we made these skins using the customizable boundless skins in the game, which are like these superhero skins that occasionally pop into the item shop and give you this sort of variety of options to make them look certain ways. You can pick a different suit patterns and belts and masks and things to try to make them however you want. And that's how we make the vast majority of our customizable skins. If you have ideas for other skins you'd like to see us make, please do drop them into the comments below and use code TripleHound in the Fortnite item shop or Epic Games Store, of course, to support us. We don't get to all of the requests, as many of you know, but we love to see all the different ideas, and very often we try to make them on our own, and if we think we can get close, we'll make a video out of it. If we can't figure it out or it just doesn't look quite right, we oftentimes don't. But that's our fault, not yours. Please do keep suggesting them. And now let's take Peacemaker into a little bit of in-game action, just kind of see him running around the map and see how he looks when he's in the game. Sometimes the skins look better when they're in the game, sometimes they look worse, just because you're seeing them from different angles and seeing them interact with different things. So with that, let's drop into a game. I kind of wanted to drop him here on Camp Cuddle so that I could go buy the marksman pistol from one of the NPCs who spawns here. It would fit the character though, right? He's very much known for carrying a Desert Eagle pistol that has a particularly long barrel on it. So even though this isn't a Desert Eagle pistol necessarily, it's got that really long barrel that I think would look good with him. Hey. Hey. Nice long pistol there. I think it looks less like Peacemaker out in the game than he does in the lobby, to be totally honest. Part of that is because the pattern on the back of the suit is not as straightforward as the pattern on the front. The pattern on the front is basically just kind of half red, half white. The pattern on the back is sort of like crisscrossy with triangle shapes and things. He looks more like a Power Ranger from behind than he looks like the Peacemaker. But best I can do, I have limited options in this game. I don't know who the hell you were shooting at, but... Well, we ran into somebody eventually and got a chance to use our marksman pistol, you know, just to kind of play the character out a little bit more. That was a little bit of in-game action, so we could see him running around the map and see what the skin looked like in actual competition. Not as good in competition as in the lobby, but hey, we'll take it. Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Use code TripleHound in the Fortnite item shop or Epic Games Store. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.